Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today in this episode, in this classes, remember we talk about the pants pattern and the tools that you will need. Well, today we going to draft the front of the pants. So grab your tools and let's get drafting. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Now today, as I said, we're going to draft the front of the pants. Next week, we're going to draft the back of the pants. So grab your tools and let's get started in drafting these pants. So last week I told you what you will need to draft the pants. You're going to need some paper. You're going to need some you need a pencil, you're going to need a pen or a marker, whichever one you want to draft your pants. And you're going to get the ruler, your tape measurement, your fabric, all that I mentioned last week. We're going to need that to draft this pants. So grab your tools and let's begin. So I will see you in class. Bye bye and enjoy and have a wonderful day. So guys, so what you would need to draft this pattern, you're gonna need your, as I said before, you're gonna need your measurement, right? You're gonna need some paper. You're gonna need some ruler. So let's get drafting this pants. So the first thing you're gonna do, we're gonna draft the front of the pants first, and then we're gonna draft the back next week. So the first thing we're gonna do, you're going to get your marker and you're gonna line up your paper. Make sure it's straight, right? If you want, you can bend this ruler, like you can bend the paper over the ruler like this to make sure this paper straight here. All right, you can bend it to make sure you get a straight line. So when you get a straight line, you're gonna draw in a line. You're gonna draw this line in straight here. So you're gonna draw a line. So we will do the front of the pants. So now this here gonna act as the waist. So we're gonna draw the waist of the pants. Then we're gonna come and we're gonna mark the hip. So whatever is your hip measurement, you're gonna measure it down. You're gonna measure down and you're gonna write in that hip. Okay, so you're gonna measure down your hip measurement. You're gonna measure down your hip measurement and we're gonna mark a line. We're gonna measure down and we're gonna connect these two marking. So we're gonna connect the hip, then we're gonna measure down and we're gonna connect the body rise. So we're gonna draw in the body rise, right? So remember, you have to know how much is your body rise. So in your body rise, right, how much ever is your body rise, you're gonna mark in your body rise. So we mark it in. And then you're gonna connect this line. So now we're gonna get the length, the knee measurement. So you're gonna mark your knee measurement, how much ever is your knee measurement. My own is 23 inches long. From waist to my knee is 23 inches. So you're gonna draw your knee measurement. Knee measurement. Now we're gonna work on the length of the pants. So my length of my pants depends on how long you want your pants. So I am short, So the length of my pants will be 39 inches. That is without the hem. So the length of my pants is 39 inches from the waist. So it's 39 inches is the length of my pants. So I'll measure down 39 inches. 49 inches is the length of my pants. So I'll measure down 49, and now I'm going to connect these lines here. I 39 inches is the length of my pants. And I will connect, so this will be the length of my pants. So this is the outline of what your pants gonna look like, right? This is just the guideline. Now on the, so this here, so is the waist. So we'll put waist, right? So we will put the waist here. So we'll just mark W for waist, right? Instead of spelling it out. Or if you want, you could spell it out. W-A-I-S-T, waist, so you could remember, right? So this is the hip. And this here is the body rise, which is the crotch, right? So this is the body rise, which is the crotch. Alright, crotchy. Right? So now, and this is the knee. And this is the length. So you have the waist, which is here. You have the waist, you have the hip, you have the body rise, which is the crotch, you have the knee, and you have the length of the pants. So now what we're going to do, on the body rise line, which is the crotch, we're going to divide our hip measurement by 4. So you're going to get your hip measurement, whatever is your hip measurement, you're going to divide it by 4, right? And then you're going to add a half or quarter inch to that measurement, right? So it goes, so whatever you get, you will measure it here. So divide your hip measurement by 4. First of all, before we put that, we need to put a line across this paper here, because we don't want to go direct. We have to like 2 inches from the edge of this paper, so we can left a space. So when we're ready to connect, we could get space. You won't use up all the paper. Alright? So you left about 2 inches from the edge of the paper here. Like this. So now, whatever is your hip measurement, divide it in 4 and plus add quarter inch to that measurement from this line here. So I'm going to measure out my hip measurement, and then I'm going to add quarter inches to that. That is the ease, okay? The quarter inch is the ease. The ease. So this is my hip measurement going on the body rise measurement. I'm going to take the same measurement from here, and I will measure it on this line here. So whatever measurement you get, you measure it out. You divide your hip measurement by 4 and add quarter or half inch to it. Now we're going to connect this line here. We're going to connect these 2 lines here. So these 2 lines represent our hip measurement. Okay? Our hip measurement, these 2 lines represent our hip measurement. So this is our hip measurement right through to this line. So you have a line now, like a box, like a square box here. Now we ain't finished here yet. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get we're going to get these measurements here now. So now, first thing we're gonna do, we're going to measure this line here, right? Or before we measure this line here, we're gonna get the body rise measurement. So we need the body rise measurement. So whatever this mean the crotch measurement here. So whatever is this body rise measurement, you're going to divide this measurement by 12. And whatever is the number you're left with, you're going to put it here. Right? So my body rise measurement, I divided by 12. I left with 4 inches. So I'm going to rest that here. Okay? So whatever is your body rise measurement, divided by 12, and you put it here. So let's say your body rise measurement is 11. No, let's say your body rise measurement is 11. So you measure down from your waist, and this is where you get your body rise. So you measure down from your waist to here is your body rise, which will be your hip measurement. Or which going to be your hip measurement, you got your hip measurement here, and then the crotch measurement. So your crotch sometimes could be like 4 inches to 3.5 inches from your hip. Alright? Sometimes it could be more, because it depends on how wide your hip is. Sometimes your hip, it could be like 6, it could be different. Everybody got different body rise measurement, right? The crotch measurement gonna be different. So when I say body rise, it meaning from your waist to you sit on a chair and you measure down to the chair wherever you're sitting on, right? So it's like this. So you get your waist here and you measure down to the seat of the chair. So this is what we call the body rise measurement here, right? So let's say your body rise measurement is 48 inches. This is your hip measurement. Your hip measurement, let's say your hip measurement is 48. You're going to divide this hip measurement by 12. Now when you divide the hip measurement by 12, whatever is the remaining number, you put it here. Sometimes your remaining number could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 10. Whatever is it, you put the remaining number right here when you don't divide your hip measurement by 12. Right? So my hip measurement is here. Now I'm going to get my curve rule, and I'm going to curve this to this line here. Okay? So let's say this line here is A, right? This is A. Okay? Let's say this here so is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay? So we're going to curve and let's say this is E. So we're going to curve E to D. So I'm going to curve mine here. I'm going to put mine here, and I'm going to curve that right there. Okay? I'm going to curve that there. So this would be my crotch measurement. Okay? If you want it too deep, you can measure up 1.5 inches and make sure it is not too deep, too steep. So you can come and get your ruler back, and you can come and measure this back here if you don't want it too steep. Okay? You can just make sure the ruler touches properly. That's why I do it like this here. Alright? So my young going to sit down properly. So next what we're going to do, we're going to divide this line here. We're going to divide E to B. So we're going to measure E to B, and we're going to divide it in half. We're going to divide it in half, and we're going to mark the same measurement we get here. So measure this measurement here that you get here, 8 1/4, how much ever you get, and you put it here. So we're dividing it in half. So you're dividing that in half because we're coming up straight. Divide it in half. Divide in half. Divide it in half. So now what we're going to do, you're going to connect all those markings that you make. You're going to connect them. connect this one, and you're gonna find the one to the waist, and you're gonna connect it. All right, so you're gonna connect that. Now what we're gonna do here now, we're gonna get you're gonna get your waist measurement. So you're gonna get your waist measurement, whatever is your waist measurement is. You're gonna get your waist measurement, you're gonna divide it by 4. You're gonna add 3.5 centimeters to that. Right now, if you're walking in inches, you're gonna add 1 and 3/8 inch or 1.5 inches. But I just like to work in centimeter. So if you're working in inches, add 1.5 inches to that measurement. That is for the dart and the we call it the ease. So wherever is your waist, let's say your waist is 36 inches, you divide it by 4, then you add 1.5 inches to that measurement, right? So, and then you put it here. So what we're gonna do, so get the dart. Remember, my dart is 3 centimeters. You dart, let me say your dart is 1.5 inches. So you're gonna get your the how much ever you add the extra to your waist, because remember, if your waist is 36, you divide your waist by 4, then you add the dart intake. So my dart intake, it says 1.5 inches, right, to the remaining measurement after I divide it by 4. So let's say your waist is 36 inches, you divide it by 4, you get 9 inches plus 3.5 centimeters, which is 1.5 inches. So on this line here, I'm gonna put 1.5 centimeters on this line, which you're gonna put 3/4 inch on your line if you're working with inches, right? Now I'm going to measure down 4 inches from this line here. If you're working in centimeters, 10 centimeters, 4 inches, and I'm gonna connect the dart. I'm gonna make the dart from this here to this one here. All right, so that would be my dart. Now we're gonna work on the waist. So the waist, so we're gonna measure in the waist. So your waist, whatever is your waist measurement, remember you're dividing it by 4. So let's say your waist is 36 inches, you divide it by 4. So let's say this is 9 inches here. This is my waist measurement. So don't do my waist measurement, do your waist measurement. So 9 plus the 1.5 inches where we put it, or the 3.5 centimeters I add in here. So this is going to be for the dart and the ease one time. Now I'm going to get my curve rule. I'm going to get my curve rule and I'm going to connect this to this line here, right? So I'm going to put my curve rule like this, and I'm going to connect that. I'm going to connect this to that. So you see you get the shape of the pants. Okay, so you're going to measure up here 1/2 inch. So we want this here to come up high. So measure up here. So we're going to redraw this. Don't forget we have to measure up 1/2 inch there. So redraw that, because we are not square. So we're going to redraw that. I will draw it in a next color marker where you guys can see. Alright, so we're going to redraw this line here. So we're going to connect from this line here. Now what we're going to do, let me just close this back. We're going to connect this to this here. Okay, so get your ruler and you're going to connect this line to this line here. So this is the front of your pants here, right? This is the outline of your pants. So next, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna move these rule, this straight rule here, I'm gonna move this next one here. So now what we're gonna do, you're gonna bring up your pants. Let me show you what you're gonna do. So now this is the length of the pants here. So from here, so from this center line here, which is the green line, I'm going to measure back 4 inches here. So it's going to be 4 inches here, and then I'm going to put 4 inches over here. Now if you want your pants to be more wide, you can bring it out like, you can measure like, you could measure like your ankle circumference, and you divide it in half, and you put half here, half here. Okay, so let's say your circumference, you want your pants wider, you could come out 6.5 inches, you could come out 8 inches on each side. It depends on the width you want, the wideness you want your pants. I don't want my pants too wide, so I would go 4 inches. The most I would go for my pants is 5 inches to 6 inches, because that would be a flooded pants. That would be wide enough. It depends upon the thickness of your ankle. You measure your ankle and then you divide that. Okay? And you put it here. You divide it. So let's say your ankle, wrong, your ankle is 17. You're going to divide that. Okay? In 4, and you're going to put half, half. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get our ruler, and you're gonna connect from the marking. You make the 4 inches line to this line here. Okay, so you're gonna connect like this here, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna connect the next one here. Okay, so this one here, right? So we connecting this here. So we just connect one to get the outline. So now you're going to measure from this line here, from here to here, right? Now whatever you get from this line to this line here, we're going to put it over to this line here. Let me measure back. So for me, I get 8 and 5, 8, 7 and 5, 8. So you one could be more. So I'm going to measure 7 and 5, 8, and put it over here on this line here. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna connect this line to this line. We're gonna connect these two lines here. We're gonna connect these two lines here. This will look short. You're gonna connect these two lines here. This line to this line here. Right, so you see you get the outline of your pants. So let's say you don't want your pants foot so narrow, you can come and you can connect your pants foot quite here. You can put it quite here, and you can connect it. It depends on how big you want your pants foot. You don't have to make it this narrow. You can go out a little more if you want. If you don't want your pants foot too narrow. I don't want me on too big. That's why I measure out 4 inches here, 4 inches here. So now what you're going to do, you're going to get your straight rule, and you're going to connect here. Sometimes it depends on the shape of you. Sometimes you may got curve this line here. Okay? So you're going to measure here. So this is the front of your pants. Okay? It depends on how you shape. Okay? Sometimes you have to come and you have to shape back this one here. It all depends on your shape of how the portion shape. Sometimes you have to come and measure that back. Okay, so this is what the front of your pants will look like. So this is the front of your pants. Now this is the front of the pants we have here. So this is what your front will look like. So you could come and you can, if you find your crotch is a little too high up, you can come and you can curve it back. Let me curve it back with the black marker, where you can see if you find it too much high up, you can come and you curve back and make your curve better. I think I would stick with the black line. The black line look more like me. So this would be the front of your pants. Now if you find your pants foot too slim, as I said, you can carry it out. You can go out how wide you want your pants foot. Okay, now this is what your front of your pants look like. So now you're gonna mark front. So this is the front of your pants. Okay, so now we're gonna draft the back of the pants. So for the back of the pants, make this front of this pants drafting easy and quick for you. So look out for the next drafting, which is the back of the pants. We will draft that next week. So enjoy, and I will see you next week for the back of the pants. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.